Okay, so I'm CammyG, and I'm going to be doing a video on my Outlander build, going over, good Outlanders to use, and, the combinations that make for a really strong build. So, without further ado, I use Cyberclops as my main hero. Now, this is because his ability, which only applies if you're using him as a commander, is that the Teddy deals energy damage. Now, this is like a necessity when you're in the high level Entwine, because almost all of the husks are going to be elemental, and if you're using any other Teddy that's doing physical damage, it's just not doing enough damage at all. And then on top of that, you have the 20% chance to deal 116 damage to nearby enemies, which basically means you're doing about 25% extra damage in general, because 1/5 of the time you're doing double. That's just basically the way it works. And so, it's if you're going to do an Outlander build, honestly, I think this is the hero that you should use, because all of the other ones will just have too weak a Teddy to use. And then combining that with using what's she called, Azalea Clarke. She increases ability energy damage by 15.5%, so that's going to increase the energy damage that the Teddy deals even further. So now it's doing more damage against elementals because it's energy, and now it's doing even more damage because it's energy damage combined with this perk. And then if we go down to Berserker, we have increased Teddy damage by 30%. It's just stacking on top of each other with the damage of it. So now it's doing crazy high damage. And then we have, bear with me, for increasing the Teddy duration by 4 seconds. If you make this in a main hero, it goes up to 12 seconds. It's a pretty big increase, the 8 seconds, but you lose out on the energy damage. I think it's much more important to get the high damage than the duration. And then we have Fragment generation, so every 39 eliminations we gain a charge fragment. This would just go up down to 13 eliminations. You're going to get 39 every now and again. Whoops. So, there's no need for that to be in main hero. That's good because when you use a fragment to put down your Teddy, it takes 30% less time to get your next one, and it doesn't use any energy when you place it down. So this is a very important one to use. And then in last, I have assault damage. Now, it might seem weird because, it's a Teddy build, it's an Outlander build, but because I'm doing like power level 140 missions, I need my weapons to be doing more damage as well. So I use her as the support. Now, you could use Sledgehammer as well, or instead even, to increase the crit damage instead of just the overall damage. But because it's 75% instead of 225% when you're using a support, I generally go for just increasing the base damage. Now, there are a few other Outlanders. Let's see if I can find them. There are other Outlanders that are good to use, but because I have the soldier in there, I obviously don't have space for them. Let's see. In the Springtime Heroes, Old Glory AC is a good one because when you use a fragment, you decrease the cooldown by an additional 10%, but gaining the fragments back from getting kills, I think, is more important than this. That's why we use Fragment Flurry Jess, because, that's already doing 30% less on the cooldown. This is just an extra 10%. It's not that, great. But, it's a good one to shout out, basically. Ragnarok is a good Outlander to use. It's not Teddy built, but if you have the Seismic Smash, which Cyberclops actually does have, then you get that the smash returns to your point. So instead of just going out, it'll go out and come back, which is pretty useful. It's pretty fun, but it's not it's not the best thing to use. And then in the Springtime Heroes, we have Stare Down Soothy, who fire lasers out of the Teddy's eyes, which deals energy damage. So this is a good one to combo with Cyberclops and Azalea Clarke. You could definitely put this in instead of the soldier, just to make your Teddy do the absolute max damage it ever could. But, you know, if you're wanting the assault damage increase as well, then, you know, if you're going to use your Outlander with, like, shotguns, pistols, launchers, you don't need the SMG and assault rifle increase, so, you know, you could just put this in there. But that's basically all of the Outlanders that I'm going to go over. All the rest are not really that good. So, they're not terrible, all the rest of them. They're just, you know, not as powerful as in a combination like this, I don't think. So, yeah, that's the build I use and a few other heroes. Hopefully this gives you an idea of the build you could make. And I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.